Hello, welcome to a new episode in the new year. It's been a couple of weeks. I think it's actually been about a month, if I'm not mistaken, or close enough to a month since I last recorded one of these and then uploaded one as well. So I apologize for that. It's probably absolutely killed the momentum, but hey, it is what it is. We're here, and now we're ready to just talk about shit like I usually say that you may or may not care about. Whether you do or you don't, great background noise for whatever it is you're doing. Or at least I'd hope it's great background noise. To be honest, sometimes it's just good to have background noise regardless. Anyway, so let's begin, shall we? It's now a new year, like I said. And, yeah, no, not a lot's changed really, has it? Same old me, same old stuff. Obviously, with the plans of hoping to continue doing my voice acting course and actually doing it this year, like I mentioned in my previous episode. But you know what? You got to take things at a comfortable pace, though. Because when you set yourself goals, you don't really want it to be something that stresses you out. Because if you're doing it because it's stressing you out, you aren't going to enjoy it, and you're not going to be happy with anything you do at that point. Unless, of course, stress is a great motivator for you to do things, and then you do like that, but I guess that's like a case-to-case basis dependent upon who you are. Realistically, though, I would say when it comes to setting goals for New Year's, there's never been... Well, I'm going to be honest, I haven't actually really ever properly done it because I just know I can't commit to it. That and I don't really work like that. If I'm going to do something, it has to be something that I want to do in that exact moment. I'm not just going to be like, what could I do for the next year that I can improve on? Bar maybe my voice acting that I mentioned, right? That's about it. But, I can tell you all the way back in, well, it would have been primary school for me, so I would have been maybe anywhere between like 9, 10, or 8 years old. Probably 8 or 9, to be honest. And this particular year, I had a specific New Year's resolution to not hit my head on as many poles as I had in the year that had just passed. Because I had hit my head on an unfathomable, and far out, wow, okay, on an unfathomable, without fathom, poles. Just sheer fuckload of poles. Like, it was unreal how many poles my head had hit that year. I had a bump on my head way too often. So my New Year's resolution, yes, was to hit my head less on poles. And you know what? To my merit, I did stick very well to that. I became very aware of where my head was placed and where it was going. And yeah, that kind of worked. But that's like probably the only time I've made a New Year's resolution and followed through on it. So at some point I just stopped making New Year's resolutions. Because there's realistically no point to me doing it. I don't really have any grandiose goals that I'm working towards that I feel is necessary. If I feel like I'm going to start doing something, I may as well start doing it as soon as I can, rather than waiting for the new year. For some people, it's a fresh start, and that makes sense, I get that. But for me, I'm like, if I'm in the moment and I have the motivation to do it, I'm going to strike while the iron's hot. Because my motivation lasts like 5 seconds. I could be motivated, but I don't know what I'm motivated for. It is what it is, just how it is for me. But you know what? That's alright. So, I hope everyone had a lovely Christmas and New Year's if you celebrate either or. If not, I hope you had a lovely past month, a lovely end of 2025 and beyond. So, I hope you have a fantastic year coming up this year because honestly, I saw, or at least online, a lot of people absolutely fucking hated last year. It seemed like it was an endless sort of fuckfest of misery for some people, which is a real shame. It is. But I actually think I had a decent year last year. Sure, it had its moments where it's kind of meh, but overall, I feel like I did a fair bit. And from what I did, I actually had a quite decent time. Did things I enjoyed, did things I didn't necessarily enjoy, but, you know, sometimes that's just how it works. But regardless, I still did things, and it was quite good for me, at least. especially towards I think the middle of the year was probably my favorite time because that's when I got to go to the Ado concert and then went on a holiday and then came back and then I went to a Hololive concert. So that was like my favorite section of the year because it was just like the part where I was able to geek out the most about things I like. Though skipping over the England section because, to be fair, I'm not going to geek out over fucking England. I don't know what would ever possess me to feel like I would do that. The country, I was born there. It's where family lives. That's cool. But I'm not about to go, oh, fuck yeah, man. I love England. I do. It's all right. You know, I think I grew an appreciation for it, but that's about it. I'm not going to be like, yep, I'd love to live. I would not move back. It's all right. It's just too small, I feel, for me. It's not my home, you know? My home is where I am now. It's not there, you know? That's just how it is. But yeah, no, last year I thoroughly enjoyed that. This year, I think it's going to be quiet. I don't have any plans yet. And that's fine. I'd like to think last year, the only reason I had plans was because it was like, oh wow, concert's coming up, fantastic. But that was pretty much the majority of my plans, and then obviously away. But this year I haven't seen anything yet. No one's announced anything. I don't know if anything's going to be happening, which is fine because that means I just get to save money, which is nice because I like having money. And yeah, that'll be good. So this year I think, unless something comes up, I'm just going to focus on doing my voice acting course as much as I can motivate myself to do, but not so much so that I burn myself out on it again like I did the previous time, where I went, yeah, let's get crazy, and I did 40% of the course in about a week, and that really burned me out, which is stupid because it's like, I don't know, that's just sort of what I do to myself. That's not specific to that. I could play a game that I really like quite a lot, and within the amount of time I spend putting into that game, it's going to get to a point where I'm actually just, you know, like, I can't be bothered anymore. I'll get back to it at some point. And then that, at some point, usually turns out to be nearly a year later. Unfortunately, that's how I process and work. I can't help that. Or maybe I can. I won't. Maybe at some point, maybe I'll just change randomly. Who knows? Life's too, like, fucking who cares, you know? Things happen as they happen. I'll do things I can, like, you know, if there's something I can take control of, I'll take control of it, but if there's something I can't, I just go with the flow. But yeah, no, so that's pretty good. I'm trying to think, what is there for me to talk about? I haven't really done too much. If I'm being honest, over the last month I had, I don't even know if has it been a month since my last, you know, let's just assume it has been a month. I had 2 weeks off work, or just a little bit over 2 weeks. And I didn't really get up to too much. I went out, saw friends. Obviously, we had Christmas and New Year's. New Year's, I didn't really do anything, if I'm being entirely honest. I kind of just went out for a nice walk in the rain. I didn't realize it was raining when I went outside, but by the time I was outside, I already, you know, committed myself to walking, so I thought, fuck it, whatever. Just continue walking is what it is. And it wasn't actually too bad. It was quite nice. Christmas was, it was nice. Had family and friends over, so pretty good, can't complain. Nice and relaxing. Slept on a couch for I think about 2 hours at one point. And that was nice, but yeah. Other than that though, nice and quiet, which is kind of what I prefer. Big things can be a bit exhausting, and you know what? I'm alright with the quiet things. What else is there? See, this is great. This is why I need to start writing dot points down of like things that I find somewhat interesting that I can talk about. Actually, you know what? I am going to talk about this. By the time I get this video up, it's like going to be around the topic. The topic might not be as relevant, or it might still be because people like to be fucking silly with these things. But again, this just comes down to, I suppose, where your preference lies between liking and disliking things, right? If you are a fan of VTubers, or even if you're not, if you've been online at all, or in the streaming sphere, or even if you're just on like Twitter, because that's where a lot of like the majority of this shit ends up coming from, and then obviously from Twitter it extends to other platforms because everything just fucking ends up everywhere really at the end of the day. there's been a lot of debate around the Iron Mouse song Cry For Me. Now, I haven't listened to it, but I am a fan of Iron Mouse, right? So I get that not everyone is going to enjoy music because not every music is made for everyone. And that's just how it is at the end of the day. And I think that's fine. And what I do think is really unusual or silly to me is people going out of their way to bully a creator for making music. Now, again, like I said, I get not every song is going to resonate with people, and you know what? It doesn't have to, because at the end of the day, when you are a content creator and you're making something, you're usually making things like that, specifically like songs, for people who already know who you are and like your stuff. Now, if you happen to listen to that song and you aren't a fan and it does tickle your interest, that's great. But if you aren't and you don't like it, that's just how it is. It wasn't made for you. That's kind of just the end-all be-all of it. But obviously we're on the internet and that doesn't, sort of apply to everyone because people are always looking for someone to, like, fucking rip apart, like, rabid animals. But that's just how it is. So what I think is, and again, no one really should give a fuck what I think in all honesty, but I'm just going to talk about it because I need something to talk about. I think it's stupid. I genuinely do. I don't understand why we're all sitting here as, I don't know, a collective of individuals and just sort of taking the piss out of one person for being creative. You don't like the song, okay. You don't need to sit there and then completely bash a creator for doing something. What are you doing, other than being a miserable nonce online? Not a lot, I'd imagine. And if you are someone who's doing that, you need to take a step back, I feel, and look at the fact that you are actually contributing to the misery or the potential misery of a real life person. Oh, but it's just the internet and it's behind a screen and they shouldn't take it personally. Well, that's not how it works, dipshit. Because people, at the end of the day, are people. They have emotions and things do affect them, regardless of whether or not it's behind a screen. The thing that people are taking the piss out of is her life. It's her work, it's what she does. So I feel something that she's personally connected to would rightfully so upset her if she would, if she were to say that she's upset by it, or if people even comment saying that she would be upset by this and people say no, and say it's stupid to be upset by it, and then you're dull. I don't know. I think you have to be a very special kind of asshole to go online and actively take the piss out of a person who has done no wrong to anyone and quite frankly doesn't deserve any of the flack they receive. And all right, I'm gonna draw a comparison really quickly. When KSI uploaded his god awful songs, and he also, and again, here's my bias, right? I don't like the songs. I'm not a fan of KSI, right? I didn't go online, I didn't go around, and I didn't take the piss out of his stuff because you know what? It's not for me. Some people are going to fuck with it and they're going to like it. That's great. But it's not for me. I'm not a fan of KSI. I'm not a fan of his music. But I didn't fucking say anything. I didn't go online and I didn't bash the guy. But a lot of people did, And that is just how it is. A lot of people made fun of him because it was a fun thing to do for them. But at the end of the day, that still very clearly pissed off the guy who made the song, no? And it's sort of the same case here. People have found something that they don't like and are all dogpiling it, regardless of whether or not they are aware of who the creator is, because that's just something popular to do. And it sucks. It does. It's an awful thing to see, and I hate it, personally. I think it's really frustrating, because, and I feel the only reason this is happening now is because after the, what is it called? The Streamer Awards? The one that Cutie Cinderella does. It's blanking. I think it is the Streamer Awards. Because a lot of this flack has been coming since the Streamer Awards happened. And I think it's really kind of pathetic. Because initially it was people attacking her for simply just being a VTuber. And then making fun of her because two well-known online streamers who are, from what I've seen, actual kind of pieces of shit because they, what was it? They did something. I believe it was when Mouse got the record for most subs on Twitch, and they kind of just downplayed the achievement quite a lot. So when two people who are kind of obviously against you from the get-go kind of approach you and start asking you questions that would make you uncomfortable as someone who is supposed to be like anonymous creator, and they start asking about your actual real life self, of course you're not going to really be comfortable, and of course you're not going to really want to make a big deal out of it, so you're going to, be like, oh, fuck it, yeah, whatever, I'm ugly and shit like that. Because I'm pretty sure that's what Mouse did. But you have to understand from her position, when you are at an event, and even if you aren't physically there, you are still attending an event, and you are an active participant, right? To go and make other people uncomfortable, simply because you think it's funny, it's pathetic. Truly, it is. And I don't know. And again, I don't remember the exact context. I kind of just tried to avoid the whole thing, but it's hard to avoid it when you're online, especially when it's within the sphere of creators you watch. So I the information I have, it wouldn't be 100%, I can't relay it 100% accurately because, quite frankly, I don't remember things that happened to myself. I could get into some sort of confrontation and I'm immediately going to think, oh fuck, what happened? Even though I could know for a 100% fact I did nothing wrong in a certain scenario, or I did something wrong, like 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes afterwards, I'm already forgetting how the situation played down, and I'm going to blame myself regardless. But when it comes to situations like this, where someone isn't acting out and getting angry at people for taking the piss out of them, and instead just sort of plays into it to get over the interaction, and then people bully her for doing so, I found that really weird. And then there was the whole thing with Burnt Peanut, who won the VTuber award, where people were being very graceful about it. The streamers and the other people who were part of the award were the possible runners-up, I should say, for getting the VTuber of the Year award. They were all very graceful about it, but a lot of people were upset by it. And I can understand the sentiment. I can understand why they would probably be. I've seen a lot of people saying things like the guy himself doesn't consider what he does to be VTubing, or apparently he's taken the piss out of them in the past. Again, I don't know. I haven't watched him. I don't know what he's done or does realistically. But I've seen a couple of his clips pop up here and there. I'm pretty sure he's just using a Snapchat filter that puts your eyes and mouth onto a peanut. That's what it looks like to me, at least, because I'm pretty sure I've done the same thing with a few other food items. But you know what? He does it, and people enjoy it, and it clearly works for him. And it's still a virtual YouTuber, because it's not really an actual model. I suppose when you look at it, VTubing doesn't really apply to just being an anime girl specifically. So he won the award. People were upset because it kind of fell outside of the usual scope of VTubing, and also because he had done and said some weird shit in the past about VTubing. And I don't know, I think he's used some slurs here and there, but yeah, I don't necessarily agree with that. I don't think, obviously, it's it doesn't need to be covered. I don't need to be like, oh, I don't think that's good. Because quite frankly, who gives a fuck about what I think? But the point is, ever since the Streamer Awards happened, there has been so much unnecessary hate pushed on towards a creator who has done literally nothing wrong. Nothing wrong at all. All she tried to do was keep the peace and be peaceful. Ever since then, people have been going after her. Doesn't matter what she does. They're just a bunch of assholes. And it's insane to me. Because one important thing to know is, prior to people taking the piss out of Mouse's song, the new one, she had made plenty of songs beforehand. And not a single person or group of people came together, that I'm aware of at least, or made such a fucking outcry. Not a bunch of piss babies coming together to be, oh, you fucking shit, you're fucking awful, blah, blah, blah. It's insane. You are insane. Every single song she had made prior to, I had heard nothing. Apart from praise, right? Because prior to Cry For Me coming out, I believe, was Music Box of Fate. And that was received very well. Again, I haven't listened to it because I just, again, I don't always listen to Mouse's stuff. But that is what it is. I do have some of her songs in my playlist, just not all of them, and that's mostly just because I don't really expand my music library all that often unless it's artists I really like releasing new stuff, right? Anyway, point is, she's had so many songs release and not a single fucking person or group of people coming together to clown on her until just recently since the Streamer Awards. And it's become a very popular thing suddenly, again, or at least it's ramped up to start taking the piss out of Iron Mouse specifically. And now a lot of people might not know, if you've never watched her before, if you're unfamiliar with her, but this is an individual who helps raise money for charity events with another content creator who I watch very frequently, CDogVA, Connor, and they are nothing short of a very lovely and kind person. Now, obviously the internet doesn't care if you're a kind person who does lovely things for people. Whether or not you do lovely things shouldn't warrant you not getting bullied. It does, she could have not raised any money at all. She could still be a very kind person and still wouldn't deserve to be humiliated or taking the piss out of her as much as people have been. And honestly, I think it's really shitty that people are doing it because they don't know the person. Even if you do know the person, why? Why do that? You know? If you know this person, you know, and again, let me just preface this. I'm not going to go ahead and say that if someone has illnesses or disease or anything that is wrong with them, that they should be exempt from judgment, right? But when someone who is as sick as she is with her disease that she has, which is CVID, and I think there might be something else, but honestly I'm not sure off the top of my head, I can't recall, but still manages to push through day after day, creating amazing content for people, millions, or like thousands, to enjoy, and makes them happy. What benefit is there to mocking that? If you don't like it, it's not for you. I feel like that's pretty cut and dry. That's simple. If you don't like it, it's not for you. Go on with your day, leave it behind. It's already strange enough to me that people get so pressed about other people enjoying VTubers. But to actively harass someone who is a real person simply because they used a model and they made a song you don't like? Wild. It does just drive me up the wall. Because it makes no sense. Anyway, I don't want to talk any more about that because I just spoke about it for too long, I feel, and honestly, it's not really a fun topic to talk about. And yeah, I don't know. You've probably heard too much about it, and again, that's just me putting my little like opinion in it. It won't have any effect at all on like the large, like grand scheme of things, right? The bigger picture doesn't matter. What I say doesn't matter at the end of the day. People are going to ignore it. They're going to not even hear it. Doesn't matter. And you know what? If by some chance it does, yeah, fuck it. You know what? You're all fucking stupid. Not the people who aren't pieces of shits, but the pieces of shits are all fucking stupid. Anyway, that's enough about that. Let's talk about Umamusume. So, I have watched every piece of Umamusume available to me currently. Season 1, 2, 3, phenomenal. Loved it. A lot of people are ragging on Season 1 still, and I get it. Maybe not necessarily Season 1, but like Special Week. And I kind of agree. I think Special Week is a little bit of a boring character. But not bad. Not necessarily boring either, because I actually really did like her character arc in Season 1. But compared to all the other characters who I suppose kind of would have got more fleshed out stories than she did, she is kind of like, in comparison, not as interesting. I love Season 2. I think Tokai Teo might be my favorite main character of the sort of 3 seasons we have of Pretty Derby. I think Kitasan Black was a great character as well. I did thoroughly enjoy her thing, but Tokai Teo specifically, I don't know, there was something about Season 2 that really just... Every fucking episode, I swear to God, was trying to make you cry. And you know what? It kind of succeeded a little bit. I'm not going to lie. Season 3 as well had moments, especially closer towards the end, where I was like, this shit's fucked. This shit's fucking sad. But it's so good. But it's so good. Yeah, I don't know. But season 3 was great. And then I obviously went and watched... Well, if I wanted to watch it in order, I would have watched... I think it's Road to the Top before season 3. But I don't know. Honestly, I don't think it matters that much. I just watched season 1, 2, and 3, Road to the Top, and then it was Beginning of a New Era, and then I watched Cinderella Grey as well. And then there's... I say I've watched everything. That's not necessarily true, because I still haven't watched B&W, because I can't find where to watch it, to be honest. And the only place I did find to watch it had the fucking video in 360p. I'm not going to sit there and watch it at 360p. If I'm going to watch Umamusume, I'm going to experience Pig in as best condition as possible. I'm not sitting there looking at 360p quality of my horses running, okay? Listen, that's fucked up. You can't expect a man to do that. But anyway. And then there's also the little funny spin-off where the characters are like chibi versions. But that's like, I think the only 2 I haven't watched. So I lied. My apologies. I haven't consumed every piece of Umamusume media just yet. Because I haven't also read the manga. But point is, I really loved all of what I watched. Road to the Top was fun. I really like Naruto Brian. Naruto Top Road. I do like Naruto Brian. I've got Naruto Brian on the brain. But Naruto Top Road was a really fun main character. I also just every character, I'm not going to lie, was really good. But also, I think, I will say, Top Road's great. I think Admire Vega was maybe my favorite out of the 4. I'm going to say technically 3 main horses, but 4 because Meisho Doto. But also there's like other horses there too. But, it is what it is anyway. Road to the Top was great. Beginning of a New Era. Holy shit. That was fucking phenomenal. That was fucking good. That was great. Beginning of a New Era was like injecting like just pure astonishment into my veins. That was so fucking good. Like, goddamn, everything about it just looked fucking amazing. The visuals, the soundtrack was pretty damn good as well. But the visuals were like on another level of just fucking, oh my god, this is astonishing. This shit looks fucking amazing. Oh my god. The fuck, I can't get over it. Genuinely, it was, just thinking about it, that shit got me all excited and shit. Like, god damn. The like every scene where, or the scenes with Agnes, specifically Tachyon, when she's running and she does the perfect running stuff, that was so fucking good. Oh my god. And then honestly, I really liked Jungle Pocket a lot. I think she was a great protag, great sort of main character. I want to see more of Jungle Pocket. I don't think we will, but I would like to. I say I don't think we will. It's very obvious we won't. That just seems very unlikely. But oh my god, it was so good. Everything about that film was just so fucking pretty. It was so pretty. Dansu Flame? I think that's her name. That was a great character too. Every character in there was great. I really liked everyone in that show, actually. The movie was great. Manhattan Cafe is just my favorite overall. I'm not going to lie. I'm just not going to show. I'm going to put it... I just can't lie. She came out on Global Manhattan Cafe, and I had, I want to say 13,000 carats saved up, which isn't a lot compared to what I've seen the amount other people had saved up. I unfortunately didn't get her within my 13,000 carats. So regretfully, I did the one thing you shouldn't do when you're playing gacha games, and I spent money. I spent, I think, $130 or $50 just to secure my Manhattan Cafe. And I didn't even get her from the pools. I got to pitting. So I had to get to pitting just to select Manhattan Cafe. So I didn't pull her. I had to fucking purchase her, which is a damn shame. But I'm not doing that again. I learned my lesson. I'm not spending any more money on Umamusume. Christmas Ogre Recap is out right now. Ogre Recap is my favorite horse in the entire show. You know, I think I dare say she shares a spot with Manhattan Cafe. But I'm not spending any more money. $150 to get to 200 when I'm already like at 100. I don't think I want to know how much money it would cost for me to get to pity. Too much money. Too much money. Not doing it. Not doing it. Nothing on this earth is going to possess me to spend any more money on that game. Ogre Cap, you might be amazing. You might be my favorite horse, but I'm not spending any more money. I won't do it. Anyway, point is, I got really off track there. Beginning of a New Era was fucking amazing. It was really good. And it had a very different feeling from the rest of the stuff that I had watched so far at that point. To be fair, Road to the Top was different too. But I don't know, something about Beginning of a New Era just had a very interesting feel to it. I think it sort of shows the transition, or is a good transition from going from Pretty Derby into Beginning of a New Era into Cinderella Grey. Because Cinderella Grey was very different from normal Umamusume seasons we got. It was presented in a different format. I think I can't remember who said this, but it was like more like a shonen than what Umamusume usually is. And I kind of agree with that, because it was like there was an episode where I'm trying to remember, I think it was like literally almost the entire episode was a single race, and the race didn't finish in that one episode, it was great. I actually really loved Cinderella Grey. I'm honestly not gonna lie, I think it was the best thing I fucking watched all year. I'm not gonna lie, that was great. And then I'm looking at like back to Beginning of a New Era. I think it was a great sort of middle ground between what we were going to get with Cinderella Grey and other Umamusume stuff that we've watched. But yeah, honestly, visually though, absolutely stunning film. Cinderella Grey was amazing. An anime about my favorite horse. Let's fucking go. That's Heat. I loved that. It was great. I'm not gonna lie. I like that they kind of took us in the new direction that they did do with Ogre Cap. I mean, like the way they told the story and the way it felt. Because I think it gives you like a sort of fresh take on the series, and also invites people who might not have enjoyed how the Pretty Derby anime works. But you know what? If you end up enjoying Cinderella Grey, I think people might then be a bit more open to giving other seasons or shows with Umamusume a chance. Hopefully. But I can't get over how thoroughly enjoyable it was. All the characters were great. It was funny. It had moments that made me go, damn, and tear up a little bit. And again, just completely stellar. The soundtrack. I fucking love the soundtrack, especially when they're at the race and they're in the middle of like the running and the soundtrack kicks in. Fuck me. That shit is good. Again, the visuals, Tamamo Cross with the lightning effects. Fuck me, so cool. Which reminds me, actually, back to the Beginning of a New Era, I was streaming that into Discord with my friends, because none of them have watched Umamusume at all, but I was like, fuck it, I'll put this on because we ball. And it got to a point with Dansu Flame and Jungle Pocket Jungle, fuck, god damn it, Pocket, which I'm just going to call it Pocket. Anyway, and I think it was... I can't remember if this was the race where... I don't think Agnes Tachyon was in it. I think this is the one where she sat down and watched it, and then both Dansu and Pocket started glowing like rainbow. And my friend Lars and I at the same time, we just whispered plus ultra. So stupid. Such a stupid thing, because we've been playing the goddamn My Hero Ultra Rumble. And I had just finished watching, or catching up at that point. I don't know if My Hero had finished at that point or not, but it might have. I don't remember. Anyway, so I was watching and have played My Hero Ultra Rumble. So we saw them like glow fucking rainbow colors. And it was just, oh my god, plus. Anyway, stupid little tangent there. But Cinderella Grey, phenomenal. If you haven't watched it, highly recommend it. Soundtrack, amazing. Characters, amazing. Visually, amazing. Stunning. Great opener. Great. Yeah, great. It's just great. It's just lovely. I loved it. And what else? Is there anything else? I didn't really speak too much about Road to the Top. I really liked Road to the Top. It had a very different art style from the rest of the series. Even like from Pretty Derby to Beginning of a New Era and even Cinderella Grey. I'm not sure why that was. I'm not too well versed in it. I don't know if it was because it was done by a different studio. It just visually looked very unique. And I actually really liked the way it looked too. It kind of felt... I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I feel the word pastel comes to mind, but that's just not correct. But it was great. I thoroughly enjoyed that. But honestly, what else? I've spent too much money on Umamusume the game. Girls Frontline 2, I kind of haven't really been playing that at all recently, if I'm being entirely honest. The anniversary event just ended. For me, currently, a day ago, when I upload this, probably 3 or 2 days ago. And I didn't finish the second part of the story that came out. I ended up getting Rebello. Rebello? I can't really remember if that's her name. Rebella? The girl with the microphone. I can't remember her name at all or what gun she is. But I got lucky and I got her as well. So that was nice. But outside of that, yeah, I don't know. I haven't really felt motivated to play it. I'll probably get back to it at some point where I, go through my phase of wanting to. But at this at this current point of time, I'm just not too invested, which is a shame. But yeah, I also got Chihua. I don't remember how to pronounce her name in all honesty either, but I got her as my character that you could pick that you could get guaranteed within the first pull. Not first pull, but like the first 80, she's guaranteed whether or not... It's not a 50-50 is what I'm trying to say. And that's nice. So I'm slowly but surely catching up on the characters I don't have. I think I'm missing overall now maybe 2 characters. 2 or 3. I think it's 2, actually. I think I'm only missing 2 characters out of the entire roster. And I've not even spent all that much money on the game. Not like I have fucking Umamusume now, where I spent 130 for a single character. I mean, I've spent money on Girls Frontline for the skins, yeah, but that's about it. And a little bit on getting... I know I spent some to get Vector, because I like her a lot. And I also spent to get Lena and Lever. Though, mind you, it was sheer fucking luck getting 45 when I had the way I did. But yeah, no, other than that though, I think the new character Lewis is just will be releasing or has just released as of tonight for me, I think it will be, or she's out now, I don't know. But it'll be either way, it'll be yesterday or 2 days ago by the time I upload this. And honestly, I'm gonna try and get them regardless. But I don't like her design as much as I do the Girls Frontline 1 design. I feel it's... And again, this is going to probably sound very strange, but her top really pisses me off. It just visually, I don't like it. Why? Why couldn't she just have like a whole red sweater on? Wow. Look, I enjoy things. I'm an enjoyer of like a little bit of degeneracy here and there, but visually that just pissed me off. It didn't look good. If you don't know what I'm talking about, basically it's like she has a red kind of cardigan, and in her initial or her original design in Girls Frontline 1, it covers the entire like sort of breast area too. But in Girls Frontline 2, for some reason they've like cut that part off, and she's got like a brown mesh, and you can just see her bra. I'm like, okay, that's weird, but to each their own. I don't like the look of that design at all. I think it looks like arse. But that's okay. You know what? It's not for me. Some other people might love it. I just prefer her original design. That's okay. That's how it is. But yeah, I just think it's so fucking stupid. It's really weird, but whatever. Yeah, anyway, that's... you know what? 40 minutes... I've been talking for 40 minutes now, and a large majority of it, I think, was me complaining. Great. Welcome back to the complaining era. But yeah, I don't know. I think as far as Girls Frontline 2 designs go, so I do like a lot of them, don't get me wrong. I don't think they're bad in any way. But a lot of the ones that are really good in the second game have taken a lot of elements from the first game, but still don't top the design of the first game. And I think that does come down to the fact that characters have unique artists, so they have a bit more personality. I still think the characters look good, but some of them do suffer from weird decision making, like cutting off the breast part of the fucking sweater, but that's fine. And then you got Niketa, who just has her entire, breast out. But you know what? That's fine. Whatever. I enjoy the game regardless. I'm just a loser. I'm not sitting here. I'm not complaining. I don't want people to think that I'm like, ew, boobies, ew. No, that ain't me. All right, that ain't me. I'm just simply saying, design-wise, it looks fuck ugly. Anyway, I'm gonna end it here because I feel like I don't have much else to talk about. I've lost my train of thought. I feel like this is a very mixed episode. It's kind of whatever. The point is, next one I won't have dot points either. Who gives a fuck? I don't know when I'll do another one, but I'll do another one at some point. Honestly, it depends on how well I fucked over the momentum for this series, because I was going very well, and it looked like it was steadily increasing after each upload. But now that I've taken a big break, and if this doesn't get as much traction, I'm gonna have to start from the fucking beginning. But we'll see. Anyway, thank you for your time. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, fuck it, come back, listen to the other ones if you haven't. If not, thanks for your time anyway. I don't know why you listened this long. Bye.